When my parents refused to take care of my twins and treated me like a burden, I decided to change my own destiny. I cut off all ties and put myself on a new path. But 2 weeks later, there was a knock on the door that completely changed my life. Do you really think we can handle 2 babies? We can barely manage ourselves. That was my dad. He was standing in the kitchen holding his coffee mug like he was talking about the weather. I looked at him. They're your grandchildren. My kids. My mom let out a sigh. We've already done a lot for you. You need to take responsibility now. I am taking responsibility, I said. I quit my job. I'm not sleeping. I can't afford daycare. I'm just asking for a little help. They both went quiet. Then my dad said it plain and simple. We can't do it. That was it. I looked at both of them, then at my twins lying on the playmat in the living room. One of them was smiling, the other sucking on his fingers. They had no idea what had just happened. I said softly, okay. My mom frowned. What do you mean, okay? I understand. I picked up my babies, grabbed the diaper bag and walked out the door without looking back. If this hits close to home, stay with me. This story might change how you see everything. Subscribe to hear what happened next. I stood in the driveway for a second, took a deep breath and said to myself, I'll do this on my own. And I did. The first week was chaos. Both babies would cry at the same time at night. I'd feed one with a bottle and the other would wake up. Sometimes I'd sit in my car and go through a drive-thru just to get coffee, just to feel like I was still a person. I found a part-time remote job. At night when they finally slept, I'd open my laptop and work. Sometimes the screen would blur because I was so tired. My phone kept lighting up with messages. Mom, are you okay? Dad, you overreacted. I didn't reply. One night I was sitting on the kitchen floor. Both babies were asleep in their bassinets. I looked at my hands. They were rough, my nails broken. I whispered to myself, you can do this. Just one more day. And then one day something shifted. I had joined an online support group. There was a woman there. Lena. She messaged me. Hey, I'm a twins mom too. If you want, we could grab coffee sometime. I hesitated, then typed, sure. We met in a Walmart parking lot. Simple jeans, messy hair, diaper bags hanging off our shoulders. She looked at me and said, you look exhausted. I laughed. I am. Same, she said. We sat there, left the babies in their car seats and just talked. No judgment. No drama. That day changed everything for me. Lena suggested a babysitting exchange. We watch each other's kids. You'll get some time. I said, that sounds like heaven. Slowly my life started to come together. I got a better job. I started saving a little. The babies got into a routine. And most importantly, I created distance from my parents. I remembered something my mom had said a year ago. We'll always be there for you. Back then I had smiled and said, I know. I was wrong. 2 weeks passed without me talking to them. Honestly, I felt peaceful. Then one evening the doorbell rang. I was feeding the babies. I glanced at the clock, 6:30 p.m. I thought to myself, who could that be? I opened the door. They were standing there. My dad, my mom, and my dad was holding a suitcase. What are you doing here? I asked. My mom's eyes were red. We need to talk to you. I kept the door half closed. This isn't a good time. My dad said, please. Just 5 minutes. I looked at them. Then I looked back at my babies inside making soft little sounds. I sighed. Fine. Come in. They stepped inside. My small apartment clearly made them uncomfortable. My mom looked around and said quietly, you live here? I answered straight, yes. This is it. We sat down. There was silence for a few seconds. Then my dad said, we made a mistake. I looked at him. Which one? We left you alone. I let out a short laugh. Finally. You noticed. My mom said, we thought you were overreacting. That you'd come back. I wasn't coming back. My dad nodded slowly. We understand now we hurt you. A lot. I didn't say anything. Then he gestured toward the suitcase. We came to stay. For a few days. To help. I said it immediately. No. My mom blinked. No. Yes. No. But we want to help. I cut her off. When I needed help you said, we can't do it. Remember. They both went quiet. I continued, I managed without you. I did everything on my own. And now you think you can just show up and be the heroes. My dad frowned. That's not fair. I looked at him. Life wasn't fair to me either. Silence again. Then my mom said softly, "We thought, maybe we could fix things." "You can't fix this," I said. "It already happened." One of my babies started crying. I picked him up and rested him on my shoulder. Without looking at them I said, "You should go." My dad's voice hardened. "We're not leaving." I turned to him. "You will. Or I'll call the police." They both stared at me. "Are you serious?" "Very." My mom started crying. "We're your parents." I said calmly, "Parents are the ones who show up when things are hard. You didn't." 5 minutes later they stood up. My dad picked up the suitcase. They walked to the door. He paused and said, "We came here for you." I replied, "You came for yourselves. To feel less guilty." He didn't say anything. The door closed. I locked it. Then I kept my hand on it for a second just to make sure they were really gone. Then I looked down at my baby who had fallen asleep on my shoulder. I whispered, "We're okay." And we were. That night for the first time I tried to sleep peacefully. Because now I knew, I hadn't just survived. I had built my own life. And the door that closed that night stayed closed for good. If this story meant something to you, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It truly helps more than you know. Your support allows stories like this to be shared. Thank you for staying till the end and being part of this journey.